Hello and welcome to the STARTrading podcast with me, Lewis.
And me, Sophie.
And Maria Clark. So today we're going to be talking about how is trading tax-free in the UK? And what about the rest of the world?
This is one of the best things about it.
Yeah. Is it one of the major things that attracted you to trading?
Yeah. I mean, everyone wants to invest and make money as easily and quickly as possible.
Yeah.
But not many people understand how or why it's tax-free.
Yes, that is very true.
So
And
tell us, Lewis.
even when I tell people, they're still like, no, it can't be. I'm like, but it is. But it is. I think when I first started, funnily enough, because I started earlier on, the tax-free element didn't really interest me. It didn't really bother me. And I think sometimes people can get too hung up on the tax-free element as being like the major reason why this is good. It's actually, the UK isn't the only place it's tax-free, but we'll come on to that in a minute. Are you happy there? But you are, aren't you? So well, I'll come on to in a moment why it's tax-free in the UK. But it's not the only reason why trading is good, because one of the things Robert Kiyosaki taught me is if we're paying tax, it should be a sign that we're making money, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I also think it's really important to say out loud on camera in public that I'm not anti-tax.
No.
Like, I'm really not. I'm actually a big believer in tax when that tax money is spent effectively, correctly, and without corruption.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did I just say that?
Yeah, I would like nice roads and a good hospital service and good education for my kids. So yeah, very, very happy to pay tax for that.
And I'd like it not to go to friends of politicians who randomly set up a company one day to fix a need that didn't need fixing. Yeah. That would have been good. Yeah. I also would like to see our emergency services funded correctly rather than constantly...
Yeah. I don't think you should go with starting on that, because I have lots of friends who are paramedics, and you know, I have friends who are paramedics who have second and third jobs.
It's so wrong. We're not going to get down that road because it does make me really angry. So I'm not anti-tax at all. I'm pro-tax. I'm anti-overtaxation and the mismanagement of public funds. And that's not party specific. I'm against every party that mismanages funds and spends funds incorrectly. I think the problem is for the past 20 years in the UK, you've had governments that have done that. And it doesn't seem to have changed any time recently. So, yeah, I'm not anti-tax, but I think people should have more money in their pockets. And my economic reason for believing that is, when are you going to spend more money? When you feel like you've got excess money in your pocket, or when you feel like you're taxed to oblivion, the cost of living is so high, you've not got enough money to live your life. Where are you going to spend more money? And economies boo when people are spending money, not when people are saving, scrimping, putting it all together. So, yeah, that's a little bit there.
And you see a lot of people leaving the UK because of reasons.
Right, a lot of people, and who can blame them? I do think that's an interesting point, though, because when I used to talk about, one day I quite like the idea of leaving the country about 5 years ago, and the reason I stayed was for family. But people would be like, why would you do that? Almost some people treating you like you were a traitor or something like that. And now when I float the idea, people are like, I'm so jealous. I would if I could. Don't maybe get out while you can, blah, blah, blah. But I was like, there really is a shift in sentiment there. And I think this is why I love trading, because trading has given me options to think about, where do I want to live? How do I want to live? What do I want to do with my life and my living situation? And I've actually got the choice to decide. And it doesn't have to be a taxation decision either, which is quite nice. Yeah. So, how is it tax-free?
How is it tax-free, Lewis?
Do you know how it's tax-free? Do you remember how?
Yeah, I think so.
So, the reason it's tax-free in the UK, and you can actually choose to not make it tax-free if you don't want to, because the style of trading that we use, you can use any form of trading account. It's totally up to you. But why would you choose an account where you do pay tax versus an account where you don't have to pay tax? It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. What also doesn't make any sense is why this dog is behaving this way right now.
He's just gorgeous.
It's just being very needy.
He's loving it.
So, when we have that choice, and we do have that choice in the UK, why would you put a taxable account? So there's two ways we can do it tax-free in the UK. Number one is using an ISA. So a self-invested ISA, where you get to make your own trading and investment decisions. That's the way that you can make it tax-free. The problem with using an ISA, particularly at the moment, is they're under threat. So even before they're under threat, you can only put X amount into an ISA each year. So you're always capped in terms of what you can have in there. Yes, it's quite a healthy amount, especially over 5 years, 10 years. The second way that we can do that is we can use what's called a spread account. Now, the reason why a spread account is tax-free is although the analysis, although the process, although all the decision-making is exactly the same, we don't have ownership over the asset that we're trading, which is really important. So the lack of ownership is what makes it tax-free. The lack of ownership is what causes the UK government to consider that type of account to be a gambling account versus an investment account, and that is why it's tax-free in the UK.
There you go, because we don't own it. We don't own the things.
We don't own it.
We're just moving the things.
We're just moving the things. We just say, I think this thing is going to do this.
Yeah.
I don't need to own it to see that happen. Now, the reason people may want ownership is if they're doing long-term buy and holds and they want payouts of dividends and stuff like that. That's a different style of investing. So what we don't want to do is compare two types of investing, which is often what people do when they're talking to me online or rather attacking me online. They say, Warren Buffett only makes 10% a year. Why do you think you can make 10% in a month? Because it's a different style of trading.
Yeah.
It's different. So we're shorter term traders. We only hold positions for a couple of days to a couple of weeks. And that's how we can get higher returns and not pay tax on it.
There we are.
There we are. Yeah.
What about other countries?
So other countries are different. So it depends on the way they do tax in that country. So if you're trading and making money through your trading, a general rule is that you'll have a certain amount which is tax-free.
Okay.
So whatever that is in your country, it might be 5,000, it might be 10,000, it might be 20,000. Other countries after that will tax, and it tends to come into investment tax. So capital gains is the general one that it tends to be. Again, that varies around about the 20% mark. And in some countries, it's tiered. And then places like Dubai, you wouldn't pay tax, which is pretty cool. I think the Bahamas maybe as well, you wouldn't do. And there's other countries where you can avoid that as well. So I think certain states in the US, depending on how you set up your investment structures, you wouldn't pay tax either. You would just trade through a limited company. Whereas in the UK, this is very important. In the UK, if you're going to take advantage of the tax-free elements, they have to be in personal accounts, personal trading accounts, not limited company accounts. So that's really, really important. So when you do open up a trading account in the UK, probably best to do it as a individual. Yeah. Now, what I will say, this is not financial advice. So always speak to a tax professional about your specific situation.
Yeah. And I think you're right. There are not many people who are like, I'm just going to be a full-time trader. Most people in our community are doing it alongside a job or alongside a business. So they're doing all the things, they're paying all the tax, and then they've got this amazing side hustle that can build really quickly and can build proper wealth.
Yeah.
And that bit's tax-free. That's great.
Yeah. There is a bit of a grey area here in the UK, which there's still debates about. I've never seen it be an issue, though. But there is a grey area around if trading becomes your sole income, then does it at that point become taxable because it's your sole income? Again, it depends who you talk to. So again, always speak to your own financial advisor, well, not financial advisor, tax specialist about that, because everyone's personal situation can be different. But again, there's ways around that. Just set up a company doing something that pays you as well, and then you've got your trading as the side income. It's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
So there's lots of ways to make it efficient tax-wise. Yeah, there's certain countries where if you open up particular investment vehicles, I think this is true in Sweden with some of our students over there. There's a particular thing, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but that vehicle allows you to only pay 3% tax on your profits as well. So there are other vehicles in other places, but the primary focus and primary concern shouldn't be how much tax you do or don't pay. It should be about learning the skills to generate the money. And if that means you end up paying a little bit of tax, which will be less than income tax, so it's still worth doing, then it still makes sense to master the skill set of trading.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah. So, any other questions about tax?
I think we've covered it.
I think we've covered it.
Yeah, I think definitely get advice, get professional advice, speak to a tax advisor, and go and learn the skill.
Yeah, yeah. But you can also just go to the brokers themselves. Remember, we're FCA regulated. and they will tell you themselves on the broker account that this is a tax-free, your profits are tax-free. And I think sometimes the question is, well, why would the government allow it to be tax-free? Why have they not shut that loophole? Because if people were able to claim back their losses, they'd be in a far more negative position.
Interesting.
So that's partly why. So I don't see that changing anytime soon, to be honest. Yeah, but they have come after ISAs to kind of limit that, which is, again, just a shame, and I think is criminal, personally. But yeah, I think it's time for a snack.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. So let's do our magic in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I got an egg.
I've got a donut.
Hey.
I actually love a donut.
Do you?
These aren't for you, I'm afraid, mister.
I've got a Paw Patrol egg.
I've got a sugary ring
Yeah.
donut times 4. Does that mean it's got jam in it or not? Or is it just plain?
Oh, it's a ring.
Of course.
Oh, my egg is half an hour. Has it got a... It's got a toy.
You got a toy. I thought that was like a nostalgia one.
Yeah. Mm. Do you like a donut?
I love a donut.
Yeah.
I do prefer a jammy donut. So you've really scored down for that.
Well, I wasn't sure if you were a jammy person or not. I really want to see what toy is. This is the best surprise because it's also a toy. Oh. It's the yellow one. Do you know their names?
No.
Patrol.
If you say the yellow one from a kid show to me, I think of Teletubbies and I think of Lala.
Ah, what are their names?
Of
Chase?
Lamb, is there not?
One of them's called Chase.
Have they not got the names on there?
No,
Oh, really?
it just says figurines. Rubble? I think it's called Rubble.
It's got his name on him.
No, it just came to me
Oh,
because I have kids.
there you go.
What do you think, Otto? You can't eat them. You can be your friend. Yeah, that's a lovely surprise. Thank you.
Score out of 10.
I'd give that a 9. Very nice
That's very good.
surprise. And chocolate.
Very good.
So you've done well.
I'm going to go for 6.5.
Oh, okay.
I know, sorry. 6 felt too harsh and too low.
Yeah.
7 felt too high because
Why?
there's no jam.
Really?
Do like the
Going
jam.
out to plot.
Yeah. Otherwise, it can just be a bit dry, can't it? I need like a cup of tea to dip it.
Okay, fine.
So, that is this episode of the STARTrading podcast. Thank you for joining us. We will see you soon.